Hi, my name's John and welcome to the Doom Bar. So the second race of the season is about to get underway. We've just had qualifying and it's a little bit of too good, too bad. I'm going to start with the bad. I'm looking down the grid and at the back you've got Williams. Lance Stroll dead last, and in 18th you've got Sirotkin. This is absolutely terrible for Williams. I don't know what's going on there. Lance Stroll, he's had a full season under his belt. He picked up a good podium place last season in Baku, Azerbaijan. And I'm lost for words. I don't know what's going on there. The car is terrible. They've not found the balance in Bahrain, and they've been out-qualified by Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber. I don't want to take anything away from Marcus Ericsson. He's starting in 17th. For the car they've got, he put in a decent time for the car they've got, and he's actually shown in Australia as well. He was doing fairly decent in the qualifying. Another car that had a bad time was Romain Grosjean. That Haas, after delivering what they did up until the pit stop in Australia, I was expecting at least top 10 for them. It didn't pan out for him. And in 15th, obviously you've got Max Verstappen, who just lost it in turn 2, I think it was, and put his car in the wall. I'm going to touch on Verstappen a little bit more, because obviously in the last race, he lost it in turn 2, I'd say as well. Turn 1, turn 2 in Australia. So this is 2 races now. I know this is qualifying, but 2 tracks, 2 big mistakes, and it's cost him. He's in 15th. Also a surprise, McLaren. They're in 13th and 14th. And they look to be struggling, which was a surprise for me because I thought that they was actually going to do something around this track. I thought it suited the car quite well, but it's not come to fruition for them. Moving up the order one, Sergio Perez in 12th. Not great for him. I mean, going into the season, I had high expectations for Force India. I thought they was going to push on and maybe get closer to Red Bull, but they seem to have fallen away quite a lot. In saying that, Esteban Ocon did qualify in 8th, so it does show the potential of the car there. Onto the teams that I think did well. Toro Rosso, they really shone. Brendan Hartley brought his Toro Rosso home in 11th, and Pierre Gasly brought his home in 5th. Now, with Lewis Hamilton's grid penalty, that's going to put him up to 4th on the grid. That is sensational. Absolutely sensational. When you look, they've got the Honda engine, which is meant to be less of the engine, and you see Fernando and Stoffel Van Dorn down in 13th and 14th, and Gasly and Hartley are in 4th and 11th. You know, it's looking pretty good for Honda. I reckon they'll be pretty smug at this moment in time. They'll be happy with that. And then moving on into the top 10, you got Carlos Sainz Jr. in 10th. And Hulkenberg in 7th. I think he moves up a place as well, so he'll probably be in 6th. And that's good for Renault. Higher than my expectation for them. And although it's not been perfect in the free practice while they've been running around, Carlos Sainz Jr. really not happy with the balance of his car. It seems to have come together somewhat to get in the top 10. So it's a good job by Renault. In 6th, who's going to get promoted to 5th, Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. Now, this is what I expected after Australia, was this type of result. So he's up there at the top of the grid. We've seen that he danced around Verstappen at Australia, so he'll be looking to get on the back of Gasly and do something down into turn 1. Daniel Ricciardo's qualified 5th, so he'll be moved up to 4th. That's about what I expected from Red Bull, to be honest. Verstappen, before he put his car in the wall, he was moving a little bit faster than Ricciardo, and maybe could have got into that top 3. But, you know, ifs, whats and maybes, he didn't. He put it in the wall. So then you got Lewis Hamilton, who did qualify in 4th, but he's going to take that 5 grid penalty for a gearbox change. He's down in 9th, and he's got it all to do. I mean, if that upset him last weekend at Australia with the pit stop and coming out behind Vettel and then not being able to take the race win because he couldn't get around him, and then he suffered a gearbox issue in Australia. At least he got on for second place, but yeah, it's not a good start to the season. So he's got to come through all that field if he's to do anything in this race. But one thing I will say is, Bahrain may not be the most technical circuit, but it is an overtaking track. They have extended the DRS zones, and there's plenty of places to overtake, long straights. So I can see, looking down the grid now, the Renault of Hulkenberg, Toro Rosso of Gasly, the Red Bull of Ricciardo. He should have the run on the straights to get by these people in the DRS zone. So it's going to make for a very interesting race tomorrow. Into the top three, you got Valtteri Bottas, who was fractionally behind Raikkonen, and he needed that after Australia, after the qualifying there where he threw it in the wall. This is a big race for him. If he can get up the inside of Raikkonen into turn one, this could be a very good race. Raikkonen again, doing a good job, coming in number 2, and Vettel edging it again over Raikkonen, putting it up in pole position, and Vettel is my call for tomorrow. He will win the race. I hope it isn't as clean cut as that, but I can see if they go through the first couple of laps, Vettel, Raikkonen, Bottas, I can see Vettel just driving away into the sunset, literally. But Mercedes have got it all to do tomorrow, especially Hamilton. They'll be looking for safety cars, little incidents where they can nip through, get by, maybe capitalise on mistakes. But them Ferraris are absolutely flying in Bahrain. Mercedes suffering with the tyres as well, they're overheating the soft tyres. They're running better on the harder compound. So you may see something tactically there. But my pick for the race tomorrow is Sebastian Vettel. I can't see, unless there's a big incident, I can't see anything other than a Sebastian Vettel win. But let me know what you think. Put your comments down below. Get at me on Twitter, John from the Bar, and I'll be back tomorrow with a race review.